Welcome to the Hasn't Been 3 Days podcast with your host Justin and BJ. We talk about 3-day-old news, sports, and whatever else we want to talk about. You, the MVP listener, you listen in, you laugh, you hate on our takes and opinions, maybe even cry. Who knows? But just don't let us know if you don't like our opinions unless it's been 3 days. You can email us those opinions you don't like to our mailbag at 3dayoldpodcast@gmail.com. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but welcome back. Justin, how are you?
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, wait. I'm doing good. We took a week off. We had a lot of stuff going on. You were on a honeymoon.
Yeah.
And we made it back to Nebraska after visiting with you, visiting your family, enjoying a week out in Oregon. So yeah, we're just back in the flow of things. Life is happening. So, but yeah, things are going good. What about you?
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned it, what I've been up to, and so I've been honeymooning and then moving, and I personally just went back to work yesterday, and then today worked both my jobs today, so it's been a busy day, but it's been good. I don't know if you're wanting me to segue into
let's
our
do
topic
it.
there, but just want to first and foremost say thank you to everybody who made the trip out to Oregon, that came to the wedding and that sent their greetings if they weren't able to come. We had a very, very blessed time together. Great time with family and friends, and it was everything, as we've been saying, it was everything it was supposed to be. And it's what we wanted, and so we were very thankful for that. I had, so for those of you that may not know, it is Facebook official now, so you can see it on our socials. Check me out on the MySpace, but it is it is Facebook official that I am married to Heidi Thelander now, and we got married March 29th, and it was a great day, a great celebration. And so we were thankful for that. But we got married at the church we go to and attend, at Pioneer Evangelical Church. Shout out to the good news people of Pioneer Evangelical Church and Pastor Steve Hopper and Ginger. We didn't go to church the following day because we were on our honeymoon. And so we went back to church this Sunday, and this doesn't really have to do with the wedding. No, it kind of does. But we went back to church, and the pastor's wife, Ginger, she came up to us before the service started, and she was almost emotional about it. She goes, I've been to a lot of weddings, and she goes, I mean, a lot of weddings. They've been at this church for almost 20 years and in ministry for probably 40 years. So she's been to a lot of weddings, and she just looked at us and she goes, that was the most worshipful, Christ-centered ceremony I've ever been to. And that's exactly what we wanted it to be. We did this ceremony for the people that have supported us through this incredible time and this incredible season that we've gone through, so they could witness the gift that God has given us in each other, and that we could just point people back to Him. And that's what it was about. So those were really encouraging words. I got back to work yesterday, and my coworkers that were there said the same thing. They just really loved the ceremony. So again, shout out to my brother Brady and Ian for doing the music, and Justin helping with the sound as always, and my dad for bringing a great message and pulling it together. And then my counselor and friend Jeff Gannon just really did a great job. And then again, I got to shout out everybody. Our friend Christina and Jenna and Raylene for putting on the meal and just going above and beyond, things that we didn't even plan or think of or even want necessarily, but they thought beyond what we were thinking and made it so special for us, and we were so thankful for that. And then Dia Miller, been on the podcast before. Shout out to her for doing our pictures, and just a great time. It was wonderful time. And so, yeah, we went and honeymooned in Sisters, Oregon, and got a cabin in Sisters and had a great few days away, and so that was fun. And then we got to come back, and I got to move into our home, my new home, our new home, and it's been really, really special. So
Yeah, what I would say about that ceremony, I mean, you told me a little bit of what, we talked about what your wedding was going to be like, but you said it was going to be different. And even me and Brady, your brother, after the wedding, we both said, man, that was a awesome, different kind of wedding. Like, we have never been a part of something like that. And we both just kind of looked at each other like, all right, like, it was just awesome. It was just awesome in the sense that it was something that I've never seen before, the way you did it and the way it just flowed. If it was done in the morning, we would have been out by lunch and people could have gone to the lunch. So it was the perfect timing of everything. So
well, I told our pastor, because when he first met with us and we asked him if we could use the church, and I said to him, I said, do you need to do the ceremony or do you mind? I said, we have, I'm a former pastor. My dad's a pastor. My brother's a pastor. My counselor's a pastor. He'll be there and helping. I said, and then her brother's a former pastor as well. I said, we've got 4 ministers that are going to be involved and could be there. And he's like, nope, I think you got it. So what I'm saying is, when you have that in your blood, service flow kind of comes second nature. And but it went off even probably more smoothly than I had even thought it would. So,
but we've been around the church long enough and been involved in people having weddings at a church, or just been a part of family members being in a wedding. It's like weddings become a little bit different sometimes. And then, like you said, there's things that just naturally start happening. You're like, oh, I didn't think of that, or I didn't think that we needed this because it was an intimate setting. Well, yeah. So, I was happy, like, selfishly, I was kind of happy that I got to do something in the wedding, because I was like, I didn't need to do anything originally, and then it just kind of worked out that we needed to do these extra little things. So, that's my natural element. So,
and I need to shout out you too, because another thing that happened at church on Sunday was you'd asked me about how the live stream and how the sound was. And I said, well, I wasn't in church the next day, so I don't know. But I did listen to it, and it did sound like, to me, it sounded like normal online.
Yeah.
So then Sunday when we were at church, I was talking to the guy that kind of is in charge of our AV, the team anyway. And he said, whatever you did, because he doesn't know anything about it, he just organizes it. He said, whatever you did, he goes, you've set us up 10 steps forward that we weren't even ready to do, but now we're there, and it's really cool. So, and I told our sound person, I said, Justin will be able to take care of some of these tweaks, and you did that for her and for us, and they love it. They are so thankful, and they can't wait to call you back for consults in the future. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, and yeah, that's no problem. That's what, your dad kind of said, what's your spiritual gift, right? And so your dad asked me that this last weekend when we were talking about it, and, I kind of laughed it off. But, being a part of making sure that somebody's worship is part of being in person, or now the age of online, is I always want people to feel like they're connected in the moment and don't feel like it's something completely different. That's what I've always strived for. So, so I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to help out wherever I can. I mean, I'll take, if they want to pay me to come out and do stuff, that's out too. No, but I'm just joking. I'll take a free flight to Oregon.
Yeah, I think they're talking more about a phone call, but yeah.
No, I know. All joking aside, you're like, yeah, technology, we can do this over Zoom. Yeah, I get it. No, so yeah, but yeah, we had an awesome time. Our family really enjoyed the fellowship that we had with, the blended family, right? Just getting to know Heidi's kids a little bit more and just being around. That was the most enjoyable thing that I had. Maybe my kids didn't really enjoy it sitting around, but I loved the fact that we were just sitting in the living room and the dining room and just enjoying that friendship and bonding, getting to know each other a little bit more. And, it didn't feel different. It just felt like we just picked up where, what we do everything. So, which is always awesome.
Yeah, it was cool to have everybody around, and I always want to make sure everybody's happy and has what they need, and having so many people from different parts of my life, and then to add the two families coming together too was pretty cool. So, yep, it was a good time. So,
well, we're everybody, can say this is that we were happy to be a part of it, and happy that you thought of us to do this instead of running to the courthouse.
Well, and that's what we would have done.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, it was good.
Well, good deal. Like I said, happy, and it's good that now it's that extra stress is over. Now you got through the wedding.
Yeah,
got through the wedding. Now, now it's just you're the new married couple.
Yeah, it's great. It's so good. It's good to be to have found an incredible woman that I love so much and that loves me has been a gift. God's gift. God still gives good gifts even when we feel like we don't deserve it. And as my dad shared in the wedding, one of the things that's been huge for Heidi and I in this journey is that if you're going to love well, here we go. I'm going to get on my sermon here.
You're fine.
If you're going to love somebody well and somebody deeply, doesn't matter what kind of love it is, if it's romantic or whatever the case may be, it only goes to the level of depth that it needs to go if you're able to truly receive love as well, one. But as my dad said, you've got to also be able to love yourself. And I think part of loving yourself is receiving good love.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of marriages, if I'm going to be honest, that I've counseled people through it's hard to receive love. I think we all struggle to truly receive love, compliments, grace in ways that we were intended to receive those gifts. So thankfully, I've met somebody that has helped me and challenged me in that area in good ways, and we do that for one another, and it's really awesome. So
there you go. That's going to make a nice reel. I think we're going to make that into a reel now.
Okay.
I mean, those are inspiring words to hear, right? There's someone who needs to hear that. So I'm happy that you have shared that, because I know it's been something that's been with you for a long time.
Yeah.
So, but well, good deal. So it's super easy to transition out of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the next big thing on the docket is next week is tax day.
Tax day, people.
This tax day reminder is brought to you by Thelander Leadership Consulting, where if you need any bookkeeping needs to get ready for taxes, reach out to Thelander Leadership Consulting, where we do bookkeeping services, financial planning services, budgeting, and we can get you set up for your tax professional to help you with your business taxes. So,
and if it's this late in the game, I think you're able to help file an extension, and we can get that done for you, right?
I can put you with the right people to get you an extension filed. Yes.
Since we're talking a week away.
Yeah. No.
But you've completed your taxes. You got yours done, yeah.
Yep,
that's good.
Yep, I have, and that's done and taken care of, and so it's on to the next thing. And so but it is a big day, and I have a second job where I work in a tax office, and I just checked our calendar today when I was back in the office, and our boss gives everybody a paid day off on the day after tax day. So that's pretty nice too. So to all the accountants and CPAs out there, a couple more days, and then you get to go on vacation. So
you can go on vacation and get to that tea time that you've been pushing away. Maybe not in Oregon because it rains so much. But
yeah.
So anyways, tax day, people. Don't say we didn't remind you.
That's right. We gave you a heads up. So there you have it. So
yeah. So Okay, well, with the money that you're going to be getting in refunds, right? Um, have you seen this news about the bringing back extinct animals and these Dwyer wolves that they've cloned? Have you read about this or seen about it?
I haven't. I just saw what you sent over earlier. So no, I haven't read it, so I can't even comment on that species per se.
Yeah.
But it's not surprising. Science can do amazing things, so you just never know what they're going to come up with.
Yeah, so they used DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull to bring back these species that have been extinct for more than 12,000 years. And there's 3 pups that they brought back through this. And so, real quick, this shouldn't take very long because I think we all know what our answer is because we think about this all the time. What extinct animal would you want to bring back?
Well, when I saw you put this in the notes, that's what I was going to is what would we go to? And I don't know if it would go to an extinct one, but endangered ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I still don't know. I mean, maybe the woolly mammoth.
Dude, that's exactly what I told my kids. A miniature, you know how you can get like mini dogs, like versions? Like, wouldn't it be cool to get a mini woolly mammoth?
Oh, yeah, that would be amazing. It'd be like Snuffleupagus all over again.
Yeah. That's exactly what my brain went to, was woolly mammoth.
That is crazy, Justin, that we've been on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I don't want to just jump off of this topic because you spent some time going on this topic, but this is a perfect segue to the real news of the week on the podcast and our brackets. I mean, if we're on the same page with woolly mammoths, we were on the same page with our picks for the brackets.
100%.
That's just crazy. We've never agreed this much. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either. There must be full moons constantly. I don't know. Maybe you know how couples grow old and they start thinking alike. Maybe our friendship is getting to that point where we're just like that. We're like, yeah, well,
we're getting to that place in the life cycle.
Yeah, as long as we don't start looking like each other.
Yeah,
we'll be fine.
Yeah,
but yeah. So March Madness, we had we'll talk about the main tournament, but we did 3 brackets.
Yes,
so to the people who care, 3, maybe. I think me, you, and my son are the only ones who really care. But we picked the Crown tournament. We actually picked the winner for that.
Yes, we
did. Of all teams, we picked Nebraska to win, and they won it.
And it kept the coach around. So I think we can say we can take credit for the coach being loyal to the Nebraska Huskers basketball program
and not taking that bag to go to Texas A&M.
Yep. I'm taking that credit. It's because of us.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
And then the NIT, we totally botched that one.
Well, no, we did, but did we? Because it's really NIT stands for not in tournament. So, it really should be for us. It should have been not in tournament picking, so it shouldn't even count. So we can just throw it out.
So true, yeah. Chattanooga won, for anybody who cared. And I don't even think we picked them in the first round.
No, well, we did in the first round, but we didn't pick them after that. Yeah. But yeah, the Chattanooga wins in an overtime thriller, supposedly. Didn't watch the game, don't have a clue what happened there. But good for Chattanooga. Congratulations, Chattanooga. Sounds like a train.
Yeah, well, it might have been a train back in the day. But in the March Madness bracket, we had we asked people to send in their brackets, and we were gonna, give if somebody beat our bracket. And so going into the weekend, we were doing really well. We had only lost 7 total games.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I don't think people realize, not counting the playing games, because nobody really picks the playing games, but out of all of the actual tournament games, you have to pick 63 games. 63 total games. And so for any single person to do that, you don't have to argue with anybody. You just pick what you think is best and you put your bracket on there. And if you're like Mike Golick, you pick 27 brackets and sheets of integrity and put them into all the different things. And it doesn't really matter. But for the podcast, we had to agree on every single pick.
Yeah.
We agreed 63 times to fill out that bracket.
I think there was a couple times where we had to convince one of us, but
we still had to come to a consensus. Yeah.
Yeah. Our friendship didn't end over it. No.
Yeah. And so out of 63 games that we picked, we had 55 of them correct.
Yeah. My brother kept on saying, how come you guys didn't put this in ESPN? And I said, ESPN bracket, because heading into the championship weekend, we probably would have been right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, percentage-wise, this is the other thing. It's like, it's hard to really tell because our bracket, our family bracket, I do a point system that keeps everybody in it as long as possible. So if the points double every round of games you pick correctly, so somebody could stay in it longer and be active in it longer. But when it comes to percentage of games picked right, we picked 83% of the games correctly.
Yeah, we should have went to Vegas.
And now what somebody's asking is, why aren't you talking about your champion? And it's
we'll get there.
Okay, we'll get there.
We're trying to drag this out. No. Well, so we had what, 7, 8? No, how many brackets total did we have to go against our podcast bracket? I know my family submitted theirs and my brother, and then the 12,000 people that live at your house.
Yeah. So you had 4 over there that were different. I think we did have 12, 11.
16 brackets.
So 16 brackets total against us, yes. And nobody picked as many games right as we did. Let's just say that. Let's give ourselves a little bit of credit.
We're gonna take this as long as we can to make sure it sounds good for us.
Yeah. And so we were on a record high because after the first weekend, I said we had 15 out of 16 in the Sweet 16 correct.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think too many people could have said that. And then we had...
There might have been some Facebook posts out there about that.
Yeah. Then we had 7 out of the 8.
Yeah.
And then we had all Final Four. And we had the championship game picked correctly with the teams.
Just didn't get the champion.
And we just didn't get the champion. So we missed the champion. And therefore, because of my point system that I came up with, we got beat by 3 women.
What 3 women were they, BJ?
Well, my beautiful wife, Heidi, is one of them.
Okay.
And yes, she did fill it out on her own. And then her 2 daughters, Abby and Hannah, all 3 of them tied with the same exact points for the tournament.
Seems like a conspiracy's working in here.
So
one bracket that we put 3 names on. I got it.
No, it is a little different, but here's...
I know.
My point system goes a point for the first round and then a double. So 2 points for the Sweet 16, 4 points, 8 points, 16, 32 points if you win the championship.
Yeah.
So after the first round, our bracket had 27 points. 27 out of 32, right? Is that right? Yeah. So then after the second round, we had 57 points. So at 57 points, we were ahead of Hannah. Hannah had 46 points. Abby had 42 points. And Heidi had 42 points in our brackets. So they were right there, but we were still beating them considerably.
Yeah.
And then the points began to double.
And then when you lose one, It
and
really throws you out.
you lose the championship. So the total points were our bracket had 149 points for the total, and then those three girls had 154 points.
Yeah,
because they picked Florida to win the championship. Now I will say this: Emma, the other daughter as well, she had picked Houston to win it, and if Houston would have won, she would have had. There would have been a four-way tie between all the girls in my family with the same amount of points. They would have all had 122 points.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And this is why everybody loves this bracket season, right?
Yep.
It always seems like the people who don't really pay attention always win.
Who are we kidding? We don't really pay attention either.
No, I'll tell you, I didn't pay attention at all this year. Hardly at all heading into it.
Yeah.
Which I waited until, But no, it was fun. So the winners get to split a gift card that you're sending them, or you're going to give to them. And my gift to them is a leftover Dairy Queen ice cream cake I left there in your freezer. Yeah, so they can enjoy that.
Yeah, that'll be good. And we have eaten on that a little bit. It's probably ready for the trash at this point, but yeah.
It gets to that point. Really, the cookie is the best part in that, with a little bit of ice cream. So
yeah.
But no, I get that. Well, yeah. So that's my gift for the winners. Sorry, girls. Sorry, ladies. I should have done better. Should have known ahead of time to leave you money. But
well, it was a fun tournament season. It was good to pick the games, and we were right on there. So now that March Madness is over, a couple things coming up, keeping it on the sports theme here. My youngest son, Elliot, is turning 17 on Sunday. And for his birthday, we are going to a Portland Blazers and Los Angeles Lakers basketball game.
Oh, nice.
So it's the last game of the season. And it's Fan Appreciation Day. And I want to talk about something for just a minute because I think this is ridiculous, but I get why. I get why.
Okay.
But it's hard as a fan, especially a fan that doesn't make millions of dollars and can't just do everything all the time.
Yeah.
But the NBA and their price gouging for big games is ridiculous. And not just this game. So the Blazers they hadn't been very good this year, but they were making a run. I don't know where they stand right now, but the Lakers are the Lakers. LeBron James, Bronny, Luka, all the things, right? It's the Lakers. So this isn't even the worst of the week. The Lakers played the Golden State Warriors this week, and it broke a record for the highest single ticket price for a regular season NBA game because they gouged the prices for the game with the Warriors and the Lakers the other day. The cheapest ticket was like $600 in the nosebleeds.
Christmas. For an NBA game.
For an NBA game, a regular season NBA game. That doesn't even matter.
That and all the extra traveling you get to see.
Yeah. So
and
this was my oldest son's idea for Elliot for his birthday, and so we kind of teamed up and are doing this for him, and it's going to be a great time. I can't wait to go. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then on top of the ticket prices being what they are, Portland is gouging the parking tickets.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, you spent $40 for parking?
$85 for parking. $85.
Can you just park somewhere? Can you just park somewhere and take the tram in?
Well, that was one thing we talked about. We talked about parking at a park spot and Ubering into the stadium.
Yeah, it might be cheaper.
Yeah. So
yeah,
but
definitely true.
We've got a connection that's getting us into a certain place at a certain time. I won't want to give any secrets away, but so we needed to park closer
close,
so that we could
so you can
get
make it there on time,
to
and
where we want to be when
you
we want
can
to be there.
control
So,
the timing a little bit better.
correct. We have a little bit of control over entering the facility and possibly getting a snapshot of the King James himself. So,
You sure he's not going to be on, what's the thing they call for the NBA where you don't play games?
inactive.
No, they have a name for it.
The-
Oh man, this is how much I show of an NBA.
No, I know what you're saying. I don't remember what it's called,
They
but yeah.
call it. I don't remember. It's something that you didn't see back in the day, and they do it all now. It's like, oh, you played 3 games in a row. You can sit down. I
Yeah.
can't remember what the name of it is, but
Yeah.
I mean, the Lakers are. I'm cheating. They're in 3rd place right now
Yeah.
in the West, so they're there.
Yeah, then they've had a great season, and it's fun to watch. I can't wait to see LeBron, and I hope Luka's playing, and it'll be really great. And then on top of it, I'll get to be with my 2 boys, so 2 of my boys, and so I'm excited for that. So
Yeah, I think that'll be the, no matter what happens, that's the piece that, whatever happens at the game, that's the piece you'll remember.
yeah,
As being there, and
well, and
you'll have some story about how traveling there or something will be funny
Yeah.
that happens.
and I've done that with both of these boys before. So when Ian turned 14, we did a trip for their 14th birthdays, our kids, and so when Ian turned 14, I got to take him to Chicago to go see a Bulls game, and we spent some good money on some tickets because we wanted to sit close and experience it. It was just he and I, so we were not courtside, but we were like at the 12th row.
Yeah.
And so you have your first set of rows on the court, and then
You have an aisle.
we were basically 4 rows up into the stands. So
Yeah.
we got there early, and we got to see the NBA. That's the thing about NBA players. These guys are giants. These guys are, I mean, that's what I'm talking to Elliot about, Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the same size as Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And we don't think about it. He's a tight end in the NFL, but this point guard in the NBA is the same size as him. So these guys are huge. I've seen some of the biggest guys in the NBA up close and personal, and they are something else to be seen. So I can't wait to possibly see LeBron James at 6'8", 280 or whatever he is. How big does he really look? So
Yeah, and you might see him flopping around on the floor too, like a fish out of water. If he gets breathed on, that's usually what happens.
that's probably a good possibility. But
I mean, the other one I saw the other night when he ran into, I think Draymond Green, they like hit hips, and he laid there on the ground like Chuck Norris shot him like a sniper. Oh my gosh! I showed my brother that when I was with him this weekend, and that's something the NBA needs to quit watching soccer. That's for sure.
yeah.
But my brother swears on it, on the NBA, and it's good product and good thing to watch. So
Yeah.
I don't watch until playoffs anyways.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boys are NBA fans. We play NBA 2K on PlayStation all the time, and we're following them, and it's fun to have some connection. Like you said, it's not going to be about the game. It's going to be about the experience with the boys, and I'm looking forward to that. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's something to remember, that's for sure.
Yep.
Well, that leads us into playoff time. We're going to be getting into the NHL playoffs too here in a little bit.
Playoffs. Talking about playoffs.
Did you watch hockey this weekend for the record-setting goal?
I saw the highlights. I don't watch a whole lot of TV these days, but yeah, I think what's really cool about with Alex Ovechkin breaking the record, and Brady or Nate would be more to speak to this as hockey fans than you or I are, but what's really cool about the stat is that he did it in the same amount of games as Wayne Gretzky did.
And one, broke the record in the same amount of games.
Yep. That's crazy. That's That's a LeBron stat right there.
And another stat that I heard was that when Wayne Gretzky broke the record, it had been 31 years in between when the record was broken before that. And it's been 31 years since then, which is another crazy stat. It was off by a few months or something like that, but it was 31 years is what they were saying on TV.
Yeah, and so we have a little group chat with our buddies that we have going, and you sent a post over there that, and I hadn't even thought about this until somebody said it on the side as, well, does Gretzky come back and play just to break the record again? Because you sent this meme that said Gretzky's one goal away from tying Ovechkin's record. And
Yep.
now that's the thing about hockey. Hockey's a physical sport, and I think hockey players are probably the most physically talented people in the world.
Oh yeah.
To do what they do at the speed they do it and the skill level they do it, it's unreal.
Their awareness is crazy.
They're playing football on ice skates. That's really what they're doing. And mix in golf and baseball or whatever you want to put when they got to hit the puck with a stick, and they got to do it on ice and on blades. That's crazy.
Blades that could kill you.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but in that same vein, if anybody could come out of retirement and score an unimportant goal, it would be Wayne Gretzky, because Wayne Gretzky, this record may be broken, but Wayne Gretzky is the greatest of all time, and nobody can argue that. He's not only did he break the goals record, but there's no way he's touching the total points record, because Gretzky still has twice as many assists as Ovechkin does in total points, and it's not even close. Wayne Gretzky is still the greatest hockey player to ever play the game.
That's the other thing that was crazy is like how many assists Alex Ovechkin was behind Gretzky. And it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It was, I don't even remember what the number was, but like you said, the total points thing was just, it's crazy.
It's not even close. It'll never be broken. And I heard, my podcast, hero said he never thought Gretzky's record would be broken, and now it's probably safe to say Ovechkin's record will probably never be broken. But
yeah,
Gretzky's total points record will never be broken. I mean, there's no way, not in the way they play hockey nowadays.
No.
They just can't do it.
No, I would agree with that. It was just a different era.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about the NHL is like they embrace it. Like Gretzky embraces it as a hockey fan. And just the way me and my brother watched it because we were home by the time it started. From church, we actually got home right when it started, and then he didn't score until the second period. So they stopped the whole thing for like 30 minutes and did a huge ceremony. And there was this point where Alex Ovechkin, you could just kind of tell he's like, I just want to keep on playing. Let's go. And then it was kind of funny. One of the shots they showed is him going talking to the opponent's goalie, and I can only imagine what he says, like, hey, I'm sorry. You have to re-stretch now, and I'm going to shoot pucks at you still. But, just stopping the whole thing. And the fact that it didn't happen at home, and the away team, the Islanders, they just embraced it, and they did the whole thing, and everybody was as a part of it. And it was a cool way to watch it. I didn't think they were going to stop it for as long as they did. Like, they brought out carpet on the ice, and just everybody started coming out. So it was a cool thing to watch happen live, to be honest with you. So, and the shot itself was a crazy shot from where he shot it from.
But that's his way of scoring goals.
Yeah, 100%.
So I thought it was cool that he scored goals. I mean, a power play goal off the left side like that. I mean, that's the way he scores goals.
Yeah.
So
and the fact that I think 2 nights before, he took himself out of the game when he knew there was going to be an open net, and he's like, I didn't want to score that way.
Yeah.
There was an article about that, and he talked about that. He's like, yeah, I took myself out because I don't want to break the record on an empty net.
Yeah.
It's just hockey guys,
Well, yeah, I mean that if he would have, then everybody would have talked about it, like Michael Strahan breaking the sack record when Brett Favre laid down for
It's
him.
just no. Well, his shoe was untied.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right down. So,
So for
but
you, Justin, what is the next all-time great record? You're not a real records guy, but
jeez.
what's the next one that you're just like, there's no way? Or what's one that means something to you? Maybe it's one that's been broken, but you don't count it as being broken. Is there a record that stands out to you?
I mean, I don't. I don't really know. Nothing that stands out. I was gonna say like NBA, but like three-peats and stuff. But
So team records.
team records,
Okay.
individual records, I don't really know.
Well, I think there's a few records in individual sports that will never be broken now because of the way things are done. Number one,
Consecutive games played.
yeah, Cal Ripken's record will never get broken.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't know the one that could be close that would be fun to watch would be the hit streak record in baseball. Total number of games in a row hits. That would be, I think it's 56 games, 56 straight games. That would be a good one to see broken. But Jack Nicklaus's record of majors will not get broken.
Not touch now, no.
And again, you talk about Gretzky with assists and total points. Think about how many second place finishers Jack Nicklaus has in majors.
Yeah.
You know, he's the major golf champion. I think 18 majors, if I'm not mistaken. But he's got like 16 or 17 second places. You'd have to look that up and fact check me, but it's ridiculous how many second place finishes he has. That nobody will come close. Tiger Woods is an incredible golfer, but nobody nowadays will come close to Jack Nicklaus's records.
He had Jack Nicholson, the Golden Bear, as we all know him as, 19 second place finishes in major championships.
So I wasn't far off.
Yeah, 19. That's crazy. Wow.
37 major tournaments where he was first or second.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah,
well, I mean, Roy McIlroy gets pretty close on runner-ups, doesn't he?
He has.
I'm just joking.
Phil Mickelson had a streak going for a while where he was always a bridesmaid, never a bride. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson's there. Yeah, you're right. Phil Mickelson is right there. He's the only active player right now that he's at 11.
11 second places?
Yeah. And the other ones are players that
Let me ask your opinion on this one. Who is the home run champion in baseball all time for you?
Like, who is my favorite person to watch hit home runs, or who do I think, is it Bonds or is it
that? Is it Bonds or is it Hank Aaron?
Or
is it Babe Ruth, if you even want to go back further and say it's got to be Babe Ruth still?
I don't know how to. She signed that ball as Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
Oh man, this is a.
Who was your favorite one to watch hit home runs then? If you're going to go there, you're going to say Griffey.
Well, I want to say Griffey, but he's not up there. I mean, he's got 600 plus home runs. He's just such a smooth swing.
He was fun to watch swing.
I don't know. The only people that you really, growing up watching hit, was McGuire, Sosa, Bonds, just watching
of our generation.
Yeah, of our generation, right? Like, you get to see him. I mean, Albert Pujols is fun to watch him swing a bat. It looks like he's holding a pencil and he just hits a ball out because he's so. I mean, Mark McGuire is the same way, right?
Same way, yeah.
And that home run chase that summer was crazy, and
I think it was 1998. Is that right?
I don't remember the exact dates, but yeah. I mean, you only I can't. I mean, Barry Bonds. If you actually break down the stats of like a guy hitting a baseball, and just the fact of like just him hitting, like I don't know the stat exactly, but there's some weird stat or a good stat about like how good of a hitter he was. Just just keying on a ball. No matter if you believe steroids or not, right? You still have to see a ball and hit a ball. Like, and it's not like pitchers are putting it on a tee. So but Barry Bonds he also had that short little swing, right? Like that compact, right through the zone and just knock it out of there. So
Did you
I
know
don't
that?
know.
Did you know that they've using replay in baseball now? Did you know that they don't actually use computers for baseball replay? They actually just call Barry Bonds because he knew the strike zone so well.
I would believe it. I mean, he did. I think that's some other weird thing is like how good he was at knowing
The walks,
the walks. Yeah, the
you know,
walks. Maybe that's the stat I'm thinking about. The under walks, not
because
intentional so much, just
right,
taking walks.
he broke. I think he broke Ricky Henderson's career walks record as well as owning the home run record. So not only a lot of home run hitters are strikeout people.
Yeah,
Well, Barry Bonds was also a guy that would get on base through the walk. Well, and what people don't usually remember is that Barry Bonds was a 40-40 guy. He'd hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases. He
yeah,
had speed too. He was a five-tool player even before steroids. So
yeah.
he,
Walks drawn for Barry Bonds over 2,500, and Ricky Henderson was 2,100, just shy of
yeah,
2,200. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not
it's
even
crazy.
like it. Yeah, I mean, to go back to the question, I mean, if you're talking about home run leaders when it comes to like Bonds and Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth and
Mickey
the top
Mantle.
four, Mickey Mantle, Albert Pujols, if you're just talking about the top names, right? I mean, Griffey's in there, Willie Mays is there, but I don't know. I mean, I love watching Ken Griffey Jr. hit a ball far,
Yeah,
far away,
yeah.
but Barry Bonds, he's that when he was breaking the record, it just seemed like every time his bat, he was just hitting a ball out. Like,
So yeah, I agree, and it was fun. They each had their own little swagger to them. I think to your question and my question maybe is who did I enjoy watching hit a home run? I enjoyed watching Sammy Sosa hit a home run,
okay,
and here's why: because Barry Bonds would hit a home run and he would walk it out. He
yeah,
would flaunt it. He just did
correct.
the greatest thing. Mark,
Sammy ran as fast as he could.
no, not always, but
No, I
Sammy,
know.
he celebrated. He had that little hop after he
Yeah,
hit one, and he was excited that he just hit a home run. To me, it was like he was, and he said this in one of his interviews, in his accent that I'm going to botch, but baseball been very, very good to me. Um, he he loved the sport of baseball, and he's been blackballed.
yeah.
If you see interviews with him now, he's not even allowed to go back to Wrigley Field. So those kind of things are ridiculous when he did so much for the game. But anyway,
I think also I lean towards like just watching a left-handed batter hit a home run.
yeah,
I
you've
don't
said that.
know. I don't know why. Like, obviously, it's not something I do, right? Like, I could hit. I'm a switch hitter. I could hit both sides. Maybe not like a major league fastball or anything. Or it doesn't matter on the right side. I could hit a major league fastball either. But just watching like a Bonds and a Griffey, who are left-handers, hit back in the day. Babe Ruth was he switch hitter? I don't
No,
remember.
lefty.
Just lefty.
Yep.
So, but yeah. Anyways, so my time, I would agree. King Griffey Jr. Like if he could flip his hat backwards when he was running the base, he probably would have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You're right.
it
You're
is
right.
his anniversary of his shoes coming out. By the way, they're gonna
They're
re-release them.
re-releasing it. I did see
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I
I
did
was,
see that.
I have a birthday coming up, everybody. If everybody wants to buy me a birthday, so
Well, let's jump ahead. I already talked a little bit about my 3 days. What do you got coming up in the next few days?
well, not much. This is my first weekend back. I haven't. This last weekend, I got to go take the kids. This is something I forgot to say earlier, but I got to take the youth group and drive them down to Kansas City for their spring retreat. So I was the driver, and so I haven't been at church for 2 weeks. I have to apologize to anybody who wanted any live stream or podcast audio from sermons because I haven't done them. I hope the church doesn't fire me. So yeah, we just have just back to normal grind. Brenton is starting his archery pre-tournaments that he's doing to start getting ready for nationals, which we just finished booking tonight. Actually, before the podcast, we got all of our places booked for. We're gonna drive from Lincoln to Louisville, Kentucky.
Cool.
So got that all taken care of. So he's gonna get archery going, and yeah, and then nothing really else. Nothing major. Which I need to get caught up on a bunch of things. So,
well, good. Sometimes you need that good catch up time. So,
yeah. So, but yeah, you're doing the basketball thing. Is that Saturday night or Friday night?
It's Sunday afternoon.
Oh, Sunday afternoon.
Yep. So I'm gonna skip church this Sunday and go to the Moda Center with my boys. So
it's just I mean, Portland's not too far, so it's just up and back.
Yep.
You can do So, well, up and back with traffic.
Yeah. Down to the heart. Down to the heart.
Yeah, I was gonna say I drove past that when we were coming through there. But what's the name of the arena now?
The Moda Center.
Moda Center.
Yep.
Okay. What's the Moda with you? Well, cool. Yeah. Other than that, man, it's just normal. Back to normal. Maybe I need to plan another vacation.
Yeah. Be nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. I think the Masters is taking place this weekend as well. And we talked a little bit about that. The NHL playoffs will be starting. NBA playoffs will be starting. And our brackets are done. So
brackets are done. Masters, yeah, that's the other thing. I'll turn Masters on Saturday and Sunday. And
yeah,
it'll probably be on during my nap time.
Hello, friends.
Yeah. But let's see here. I was going to tell you something about the Masters. I had some funny. I don't remember. If you could choose, I sent this in the group text message, but I was going to ask you your opinion about this. If you were given Master tickets, would you, if you could only take 3, you had you plus 2 people, but then you had to choose between 4 people. Could you make that decision, or would you just go by yourself and enjoy the week by yourself?
Well, that one, when you make it that specific, I have an answer for 2. Where I'm going to get in trouble is the third.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, if it was just me and 2 other people to go to the Masters, I'm definitely taking my dad and brother.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you ask me who am I playing a foursome with, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
If you're playing a foursome trip, and let's just say you get to go to the Masters, and then you get to experience the whole week, right?
Oh, man, yeah, I'm not answering this question.
Yeah, so who would? Yeah, so would you? So if you had to pick that third person, would you choose? Hey, I'm not gonna pick 3 people. I'm just gonna go by myself, so that way I don't piss off anybody.
I'm gonna go play 3 rounds by myself.
Yeah, well, when I saw that, it was some tweet that somebody said that he's like, yeah, I just decided not to argue with my family about which kid I was gonna take in my family group chat, and decided I'll just go by myself.
Yeah,
maybe somebody at the Masters would feel bad for me. I was like, that's actually pretty smart. Nobody gets in trouble.
Yeah,
I mean, they're gonna be mad at you anyways if you pick the wrong person, so you might as well have everybody mad at you. So
just enjoy it.
Just turn off the phone and go away. You can't have your phone there anyway, so. But all right, man, we did it. Back to the grind.
We're back to the grind. It's been good. Been good to catch up. Good to be back. So, thanks for agreeing with us on the picks. Thanks for those of you that mailed in your picks, and I'm sorry some of you didn't win, and others did. So we'll send the gift cards out soon.
We'll send the losers a ribbon.
But
sure.
it's been fun. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you'll listen in next time we're on. So until then, here's to a lack of communication of irrelevant age news. We'll see you next time.
See you.